The journey began with a long path through forests and hills, where Bilbo tried to adapt to the new way of life. The dwarves sang songs about their lost treasures and their ancient glory, while Bilbo listened in silence, thinking about his warm home and the food he had left behind. He did not realize that this beginning was just an introduction to the more exciting adventures to come. One night, while the group was setting up a small camp under the trees, they were surprised by an attack from 3 huge trolls. These evil creatures devoured the food the group had and threatened to eat them all. In an attempt to prove his worth, Bilbo tried to sneak up and steal something from them, but he failed and was caught. This moment was not only a test of his courage, but also a turning point in his relationship with the dwarves. Fortunately, Gandalf was able to save the group with his wit and magic. He tricked the trolls into staying outside until sunrise, where they turned to stone from the light. This event was Bilbo's first real test, but it also highlighted the importance of teamwork among the group. The group continued its journey, but Bilbo began to feel the weight of the responsibility on his shoulders. He knew that the challenges ahead would be tougher and more dangerous, but he began to realize that this journey was not only about gold or restoring Thorin's throne, but also about discovering his own abilities and proving his worth. The first part of the story ended with the group continuing their progress through the rough lands, where the forests grew denser and the dangers more intense. Everyone wondered what they would face in the next stages of their journey, and whether Bilbo would truly become the burglar they needed. After days of traveling through forests and valleys, the group began to feel the fatigue of the journey. The surrounding nature became more mysterious and gloomy as they ventured deeper. The tall trees stretched out like shadows, threatening to swallow them, and strange sounds surrounded them from all sides. Despite the dwarves' bravery and experience, the group was filled with anxiety, especially Bilbo, who was not accustomed to such conditions. One night, while the group was trying to set up camp in a small cave, seeking shelter from the storm raging outside, Bilbo noticed something strange. The cave walls seemed smoother than they should have been, as if someone had used it before. He tried to warn the others, but they were too tired to pay much attention. Everyone lay down to sleep, hoping the shelter would give them a chance to rest before continuing their journey. But in the middle of the night, hidden gaps suddenly opened in the cave walls, and a group of goblins rushed out. They quickly attacked the dwarves, binding them with strong ropes and dragging them deep into the caves. Bilbo tried to fight, but he was confused and scared, and soon found himself trapped with the others. The goblins led the group through winding, dark corridors to a vast hall lit by torches, where the Goblin King was waiting for them. The creature was huge and ugly, with a twisted face and a gruff voice. He began to interrogate them, trying to find out why they were in his kingdom. Things seemed to get worse as the king threatened to kill them all. At that moment, Gandalf returned to the scene. He had been separated from them for some time, but he was not far. Using his intelligence and powerful magic, he created chaos in the hall. He ignited the goblins' torches with magical flames and sent rocks falling from the ceiling, creating great confusion. The dwarves seized the opportunity to escape, with Bilbo doing his best to keep up with the rest. As they fled through the dark passages, Bilbo lost his way. He found himself completely alone in the heart of the mountains. The darkness filled the place, and the air was cold and eerie. As he tried to find an exit, he stumbled upon a strange creature sitting on a rock near a small pond. It was Gollum, the strange and suspicious being. Gollum was a thin creature with huge eyes that glowed in the dark. He had been living in these caves for many years, far from sunlight and humans. Bilbo's encounter with Gollum was just the beginning of a dangerous and unexpected game. Bilbo tried to act cautiously, but Gollum began asking him riddles, as that was the type of challenge he loved. Bilbo agreed to play the game, thinking it was his only chance to survive. If he could solve Gollum's riddles, Gollum would let him go. But if he failed, Gollum would feast on him. The game began, and with each riddle Bilbo solved, he drew closer to survival, but he felt immense pressure as Gollum grew more anxious and aggressive with every correct answer. During this encounter, Bilbo noticed something strange. Gollum was holding a small, shiny object, which seemed to be his most treasured possession. While Gollum was focused on the game, Bilbo managed to steal the object without Gollum noticing. It turned out that this treasure was a ring, but it was no ordinary ring. As soon as Bilbo placed it in his pocket, he felt a strange power surrounding him. When Gollum realized his ring was missing, he flew into a mad rage. He began shouting and searching frantically, trying to find it. Bilbo took advantage of the chaos and slipped the ring onto his finger without realizing what was happening. Suddenly, he became invisible. Bilbo discovered that the ring granted him the ability to disappear, which helped him escape from Gollum and the dark caves. After a series of thrilling events, Bilbo managed to find his way out of the mountains and rejoin the rest of the group. The dwarves and Gandalf were relieved to see him safe. Bilbo did not tell them about the ring or what had happened in the caves. He kept this secret to himself, unaware of the mysterious power this treasure would have on his future.